The knock came hard, violent, and desperate. The man dropped his bowl of water as the wooden door shook under another strike. Before he could move, a voice rasped from outside, low and breaking. "Please, open the door." Another knock, louder. "Before they catch me." The man hesitated only a second before lifting the latch. The door swung open and a figure collapsed into his hut, dragging blood across the floor. "Close it," the stranger gasped. "Plaise." The man slammed the door shut just as shouting erupted somewhere beyond the trees. Search everywhere. He couldn't have gone far. The stranger crawled toward the wall, clutching his leg. Moonlight fell across his face, and the man froze, his breath caught. It was the one person no one in the village ever spoke to by name. "You," the man whispered. The stranger looked up slowly. "Yes." Fear climbed the man's spine. He backed away instinctively. "You shouldn't be here." "I know," the stranger said. "And you shouldn't help me." Footsteps thundered closer. Torches flared between trees. "If they find me here," the stranger continued, "they will burn your house. They will chase you from this land." The man clenched his fists. "Then why did you come?" The stranger met his eyes. "Because you are the only one who hasn't learned to hate," a voice shouted nearby. "I see blood." The man moved without thinking. He grabbed a cloth, tied it tight around the stranger's leg, then shoved him toward the back of the hut. "Through there," he whispered. "There's a pit behind the firestones. Stay down." "You're making a mistake," the stranger said. The man didn't answer. The door burst open. 5 men rushed in, torches raised, machetes glinting. "Where is he?" one barked. The man stood still. "Voo!" "The cursed one!" another snapped. "We know he ran this way." One man bent and touched the blood on the floor. "Fresh." The leader's eyes hardened. "You helped him." "I helped no one," the man replied, his voice steady though his heart was racing. Outside, villagers gathered, murmuring spreading like fire. "Search the hut. Drag him out," an elder pushed through the crowd. "Enough." Silence followed him. He looked at the man. "You know the law." "Yes," the man said. "And yet blood lies on your floor." The man said nothing. The elder's gaze sharpened. "If you are hiding him, you will not suffer alone." The man nodded once. "Then I will suffer." The crowd gasped. The elder stepped back. "By sunrise, the truth will reveal itself." They left. Night stretched long and heavy. The man crouched beside the pit. "You can't stay here." "I know," the stranger replied quietly. "Who are they?" "Men who fear what they don't understand." "That's not an answer." The stranger exhaled. "Once, I protected this village. When sickness came, they needed someone to blame. I was different. That was enough." "You brought death," the man said. "I buried the dead," the stranger corrected. They couldn't accept that. A distant drum sounded. The stranger stiffened. "They've chosen. What does that mean?" "It means they won't stop tonight." A scream cut through the darkness. Then another. The man stood. "They're burning something." The stranger closed his eyes. "They're burning my old hut." To remind themselves what fear looks like. The man swallowed hard. "We leave. Now." They slipped into the forest as flames climbed into the sky behind them. Shouts followed. "There! Don't let them escape!" Branches whipped past as they ran. The stranger stumbled, nearly falling. "Leave me," he said. The man grabbed him. "No. You owe me nothing." "I owe myself," the man replied. "And I won't become like them." A stone struck a tree beside them. "They're close," the stranger warned. The man veered sharply, dragging him toward a narrow ravine. He shoved the stranger behind a fallen log and turned back, heart pounding. A villager lunged out of the dark. The man swung first. The machetes clashed. The villager froze when torchlight revealed the stranger behind him. "You doomed us all," the villager whispered. "No," the man said. "You did." More men poured in. Fear turned to rage. Someone shouted, "Kill them both!" The stranger stepped forward despite his injury. His voice cut through the chaos. "If blood is what you want," he said, "then hear this: what follows will not end with tonight." The men hesitated. A deep rumble rolled through the forest. Wind tore through the trees. Torches flickered wildly. Someone screamed, "The ancestors!" Panic exploded. Men fled. Others dropped to their knees. The man stared at the stranger. "What did you do?" The stranger shook his head. "Nothing. But now," he said softly, "everything has changed." The wind didn't die down. It grew louder, angrier, whipping through the forest like something alive. The men who had chased them scattered in all directions, fear replacing rage. Some dropped their torches, others ran blindly, shouting prayers as branches clawed at their faces. The man grabbed the stranger's arm. Move! Now! They ran deeper into the forest, feet pounding the earth until the shouting faded behind them. Only when the sounds of pursuit disappeared did the man slow down. The stranger collapsed against a tree, breathing hard. You saw it, the stranger said. They'll never forget tonight. They'll blame me, the man replied. They already do. A distant horn sounded from the village. Long, low, heavy. The man's face tightened. That's the gathering horn. The stranger nodded. They're calling everyone. Then they'll hunt us. Yes, the stranger said quietly. And when they don't find me, they'll punish you. The man stared into the darkness. Then we don't let that happen. By dawn, the village square was full. Smoke still rose from burned huts. Women whispered. Children clung to their mothers. Men stood in tight circles, anger simmering just beneath the surface. The elder lifted his staff. We warned him. Murmurs spread. He broke the law. He sheltered the cursed one. Misfortune followed immediately. A man stepped forward. The wind last night, my father said it was a sign. Another spat on the ground. A sign of his foolishness. The elder raised his voice. We will cleanse this land. How? Someone shouted. By removing the cause. The man and the stranger hid among thick roots near the river. They're going to burn my house, the man said. Yes. They might kill me. Yes. The man turned sharply. And you're calm. The stranger met his gaze. Because this is not new. Then why involve me? The man snapped. The stranger was silent for a moment. Because once, someone helped me. And I survived. The man laughed bitterly. And look where that led you. The stranger's eyes darkened. Survival is not the same as peace. Voices echoed nearby. They went toward the river. Spread out. The man cursed under his breath. They're closing in. The stranger pushed himself upright. Listen to me. If they capture me, deny everything. And let them kill you. They won't, the stranger replied. They're afraid to. A shadow moved between trees. The man grabbed a stone and hurled it in the opposite direction. Shouts followed the noise. They ran again. By midday, the village found what it wanted. The man's hut was dragged apart. His cooking pot smashed. His mat torn to pieces. Burn it, someone shouted. Flames rose quickly. An elder watched silently as smoke curled into the sky. Let this be a warning, a woman whispered. What if he was right? The elder turned sharply. Silence. In the forest, the man stared at the smoke. That was my home, he said. The stranger lowered his head. I'm sorry. The man laughed, hollow and sharp. Sorry won't rebuild it. No, the stranger said. But truth might. The man turned. Then start talking. The stranger exhaled slowly. Long ago, this village made a pact. Protection in exchange for silence. Silence about what? About what lives beyond fear, the stranger replied. About powers they don't want to understand. You're saying the elders know. They always knew. The man clenched his jaw. Then they sacrificed you. Yes, and now me. The stranger nodded. Fear needs fresh blood. A shout rang out close by. There! A stone struck the stranger's shoulder. Another whizzed past the man's head. Men poured into the clearing, machetes raised. End this now, one yelled. The man stepped in front of the stranger. Stop! Move! Another roared. You've caused enough. The elder emerged from the crowd. His face was grim. You were warned, he said. Now you will be removed. The man looked around at familiar faces. I hunted with you. I ate with you. And you betrayed us, the elder replied. The stranger spoke calmly. He did nothing wrong. The elder's eyes flicked to him. Silence. The stranger smiled faintly. You never could. The air grew heavy again. Leaves trembled. The ground vibrated slightly. A murmur spread through the crowd. What's happening? This again? The elder's voice wavered. Enough! Kill them! A man lunged forward. He never reached them. The earth beneath him cracked. He screamed as he fell, leg trapped, blood spilling. Panic erupted. This is your doing, someone shouted at the stranger. No, the stranger said. This is yours. The man stared at the chaos. This isn't ending, is it? The stranger shook his head. Not until the truth is faced. The elder backed away slowly. You should never have returned. I never left, the stranger replied. You just stopped listening. Thunder rolled overhead. The man looked at the stranger, fear and understanding colliding in his eyes. You're not cursed, he said. The stranger met his gaze. No. What are you? The stranger answered softly, a reminder. Rain crashed down without warning. Not gentle, not cleansing. It fell like punishment, drenching the village in seconds. Thunder split the sky, so close it rattled bones. People screamed and scattered. This is madness, someone shouted. The elder slipped in the mud, his staff clattering to the ground. The man saw fear on his face for the first time, not authority, not control. Fear. Call them off, the man yelled. The elder looked up, rain blinding him. You think I can? A tree at the edge of the clearing snapped, crashing down and blocking the path behind them. The stranger raised his hands slightly. Enough. The rain slowed. The wind softened. The ground stilled. The crowd froze. One man whispered, "He commands it." The elder's voice shook. "You are forbidden." The stranger stepped forward. "I was forgotten." The man turned sharply. "Tell me now. What are you?" The stranger didn't look at him. Not a god, not a demon. Then what? Someone the village once begged for help. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. An old woman stepped forward, trembling. "The protector," the elder snapped. "She's lying." The stranger faced him. "You taught them to forget." The elder's mouth opened, then closed. His shoulders sagged. Long ago, when famine stalked the land and disease stole children in the night, the village had gone into the forest and begged for protection. The stranger had answered. Crops grew. Rivers swelled. Enemies turned away. But fear crept in. Power that could protect could also judge. So the elders rewrote the story. They called the protector a curse. They banished him, but kept the benefits. Silence became law. The man's voice broke. "You used him," the elder whispered. "We did what we had to." The stranger shook his head. "You did what was easy." A sudden cry cut through the air. A boy slipped near the river, the swollen current pulling him under. "Help!" his mother screamed. Without thinking, the man ran. The water was wild, dragging the boy toward jagged rocks. The man plunged in, grabbing at empty water. The stranger appeared beside him, eyes glowing faintly. "Hold him," the stranger commanded. The current slowed, just enough. The man grabbed the boy and shoved him toward the bank. Villagers pulled the child to safety. Silence followed. The mother collapsed, sobbing. "Hes evet mason." The elder fell to his knees. The man turned to the stranger. "You're still protecting them." "Yes," the stranger said quietly. "Despite everything," the man swallowed. "And what happens now?" The stranger looked around at the village. "Now comes choice." He faced the people. "I leave, and the protection ends, or I stay and the truth is spoken. No more lies." Fear twisted faces. "What about him?" someone shouted, pointing at the man. The elder raised his head. "He will be blamed." The stranger's gaze hardened. "No." The ground trembled again, stronger this time. Cracks spread across the square. The stranger turned to the man. "This is where you decide." "Decide what?" "Whether you walk away and live quietly, or stand with me and change everything." The man looked at the burning remains of his home, the faces that once welcomed him, the fear that had ruled them all. He stepped forward. "I'm done being silent." Gasps erupted. The elder screamed, "You'll doom us all!" "Then learn to live without lies," the man replied. The stranger smiled, sad, proud, final. The sky brightened. The storm lifted. The earth sealed itself. The village stood, shaken and exposed. The stranger turned toward the forest. "My work here is finished." The man grabbed his arm. "Wait. What will happen to me?" The stranger met his eyes. "They will fear you. They may hate you. And you? I will watch." The stranger stepped into the trees, his form dissolving into mist. The forest went silent. The elder's authority was gone. The man stood alone in the square, soaked, homeless, but unbroken. A child approached him slowly. "Will you protect us now?" The man looked toward the forest, then back at the village. "No," he said. "You'll protect yourselves by telling the truth." Morning came quietly, as if the land itself was unsure whether it was allowed to wake. The village looked smaller in daylight. Ashes where the man's hut once stood. Cracks in the earth already closing, like scars healing too fast. People avoided his eyes. He walked through the square, carrying nothing, owning nothing, yet every step echoed louder than before. A woman whispered, "That's him." Another replied, "The one who broke the silence." No one stopped him when he reached the edge of the village. No one invited him to stay either. He would have left if a voice hadn't called out, "White." It was the boy he had saved from the river, standing beside his mother. She knelt without shame. "You saved my child," she said. "They can't erase that." Others slowly gathered. Not many, just enough. The former elder remained inside his hut, refusing to come out. His power had dissolved the moment the truth surfaced. Days passed. Crops that once grew easily now struggled. The river no longer rose on command. The protection they took for granted was gone. Fear returned, but this time it had no scapegoat. One night, the man sat alone by the forest edge when the air shifted. Leaves rustled without wind. "You stayed," the stranger's voice said. The man didn't turn. "I couldn't pretend anymore." The stranger stepped out, weaker now, less radiant. "Truth always has a cost." "And a reward?" the man asked. The stranger smiled faintly. "Sometimes." He reached out and pressed something into the man's palm. It was warm, heavy. "A seed," the stranger said. "Not magic. Opportunity." "What happens to you?" the man asked. "I fade," the stranger replied. "My purpose fulfilled." The man nodded. "Then I'll do the rest." The stranger dissolved into the night, leaving only silence and choice. The man planted the seed near the river. Seasons turned. The seed grew into a tree unlike any the village had seen. Its fruit fed many. Its shade cooled the sick. Traders came from far lands to see it. Stories spread not of curses, but of courage. The village changed. Slowly, painfully, honestly. The man was no longer poor, but he never became proud. When asked how fortune found him, he always said the same thing: "I just helped when everyone else was afraid." And when children asked why the forest no longer frightened him, he smiled. Because fear only survives where truth is buried. If this story moved you, taught you, or made you think, don't forget to subscribe to Shadrach Story Vault, like this video, and share it with someone who loves powerful African folktales. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you have helped the forbidden stranger, or walked away? More stories are coming, and some truths are still waiting to be told.